I think every human being does extraordinary things only when they are in love. So yeah, I believe that love is something which is a privilege, you know, if it comes in your life. What my relationship with Katrina is, what my relationship was always going to be, it's very dear to me.
I don't want to follow somebody else's success path. You know, if Mr. Salman Khan has a Dabang, a Ready and a Bodyguard, which are huge, humongous hits, they're humongous hits because of Salman Khan's mega stardom. You know, because people love him, that's why they like it. I can't do that because it doesn't come naturally from me and I won't be able to pull it off convincingly.
When you were asked recently by GQ magazine, you actually didn't deny that you were dating Alia, but you said it's really new right now. What do you like when you're in love? Are you a different person? Are you a better person?
I think every human being does extraordinary things only when they are in love. So yeah, I believe that love is something which is a privilege, you know, if it comes in your life. And to be in a happy, beautiful, positive place. A relationship could be with the girl, a guy, with a friend, your mother, your father, anybody. But when there is some genuine love, it's really beautiful.
You know, you said something really lovely in that interview. You said, as an actor, as a person, Alia is flowing right now. When I see her work, when I see her act, even in life, what she gives is something I'm aspiring to for myself. I know it's new. What's the influence she's had on you so far?
It's only positive. And more so also because we are working in a film together, and I really admire her as an actor. And to see her have so much of color, so much of spontaneity, so much of hard work, so much of discipline, extremely disciplined, is quite rare, you know, which is amazing because it takes out the jadedness of yourself. You know, it's been 10 years for me. When I was also young and I saw Karan Johar films, when I was in the 7th grade, I saw Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and then you believe that, okay, when you speak to a girl, you speak like that,
Right.
you dress like that, you know, you woo a person like
You
that.
did?
Of course, we all have done, you know.
Tell.
I have worn that cool neck thing that
So
Shah Rukh wore.
uncool.
I
Like
wore
nobody
that,
did that.
I wore that, I bought that.
Ranveer, even then nobody was
Like
doing that.
Linking Road was filled with those polo t-shirts that Shah Rukh wore, and you know, and then everyone has said कि तुम नहीं समझोगे कुछ कुछ होता है, you know, at some point. Either
Who has said this?
I have, and you guys have also, right? Yeah. So sometimes.
Yeah, you guys have?
Of course. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So even though you don't believe in the dialogue कि तुम नहीं समझोगे कुछ कुछ होता है, it's just open a different perspective कि चलो ऐसा भी कुछ कोई बोल सकता है, you know.
Correct. You had this very public breakup with Katrina earlier this year, and somehow the perception stuck that you came away from it unaffected, that you're emotionally distant.
You know, Rajiv, this is a little bit of a trick question to answer because, you know, whatever I say on any platform, I think it's grossly misconstrued. You know, a lot of interpretations are taken of it. You see, when my personal life, and over the years I've realized and understood that, is very dear to me, and especially, you know, what my relationship with Katrina is, what my relationship was always going to be. It's very dear to me because I think after my parents, she's been the most influential, most motivational entity in my life, and I hold that very dear, you know. So I don't want to speak anything about it. There is no negativity, there is no sense of bitterness, you know, where that's concerned. So there's nothing to talk about, you know. And I think what happens
But
between two people.
surely you've read this perception
Of course.
of there being a distance, that he's not affected.
It's fine. You don't need to know if I'm affected or not, you know, as long as.
Because you've made no effort to change that perception.
I can't sit in every interview and explain myself, explain my heart, and especially where my relationship is concerned, because it was really punctured, you know, by a lot of things, you know, by absolutely baseless rumors and reports and perceptions and point of views and all of that, and it hurt, but I don't want to clarify them. You know, I just feel
So
it
let
doesn't
me ask you
require.
pointedly, Ranveer, was it hard for you, the breakup? Because this was obviously not just dating. You guys had moved in together. Was it hard for you?
You know, the thing is, like I said, I'm not even saying I haven't even said I've broken up. You know, I haven't said anything. because I don't find the need to say that. You know, it's like I said, it's too dear to me. I don't want to talk about it, and yeah, there's nothing to say.
Was it hard going to work after knowing that everyone's read about it and they're looking to see how you're dealing with it?
Not at all, actually. I'm the kind of guy in my 8 years, and I've felt a flop, and I was like, okay, now I'm working on my next film, forget it, let's work harder. And you know, I was in a little bit of a zone. I just started working, there was a lot of interest, I was a young actor, so I could do things. You know, I was not really affected by a big disaster, but when Velvet came after Besharam, and of course Roy was also a big,
Became your film.
became my flop, so it had that kind of burden on it. So I was home, I was depressed. Okay, one day passed, second day passed, then I was coming out of it, you know, come back to work. Then you know what happens is like the whole industry starts messaging you. You know, you get 100 messages a day. You get next day you get another 20 messages. Third day you get another 10 messages. So this went on for 4 weeks post the
I
release.
thought no one calls after
Exactly.
that.
So you know, on the third week, I'm telling Katrina, like, you know, is it normal? Because I'm still getting messages like, we are with you, and you know, it's fine. This too shall pass.
Right.
So that kind of freaked me out a bit. Yeah, I am not feeling so much trouble. Also, maybe I am in trouble. Yeah, you know, I need to. But then again, you know, I have like really great support in Imtiaz, who's such a dear friend, who gives you a reality check and says, "Abhi ho gaya." But then he also tells me कि अभी सर आप बहुत humble हो, ये play कर रहे हो कि flop हो गई है, and all. Now it's okay, सबके life में होता है. Now you just work on your film. अभी बहुत हो गया.
Do you feel like those 3 flops have hurt you in any tangible way?
Of course, you know, the kind of, you know, people have lost money on me, you know, and it's my responsibility now. If it's the exhibitor, if it's the samosa wala, if it's anybody, that I have to make it up to
Do you
them.
feel like the best projects now don't come to you? Do you feel like you've had to take a pay cut because of that?
To be honest, the best projects are still coming to me.
Right.
You know, the Imtiaz Ali is still interested in working with me. You know, I'm still meeting directors who are the best directors in this industry. So I don't think I'm in that bad a position right now.
For an actor, it's very important to have that insecurity and that fear. Okay, what if your film is not going to work? What if? And my fear is not okay, what my film only won't work. My fear is that what if I don't get opportunities, you know, to work in movies, you know, to work with the directors I want to work, to play the characters I want to play. So I think it's very important to have that insecurity, because the day you're content, you'll get very complacent. You know, you'll put your legs up and you're like, you know, now I've arrived. And I don't want to feel like that ever. You know, even for the next 10-15 years, when I speak to you over the next 10-15 years, I constantly want to have this churning of emotions inside me before a release.
Taimur is the paparazzi's darling. I want to ask you, do you sort of take a moment and think, thank God there wasn't this kind of paparazzi when I was kind of growing up? Because you would have been, I mean, you would have been exactly the kind of kid that would have been
I don't know.
stalked in this manner.
I've not thought about that, but to be honest, I stalk his pictures because I'm also obsessed.
You too.
You know, because when you see him, it warms your heart.
Yeah.
You know, and him when he has his haircut, or you know,
So you're just like the rest
how
of
he
us.
walks. Yeah. Like I'm a Taimur fan. I've had the opportunity and the good fortune
Correct.
to hold him,
Right.
and it felt quite surreal. It felt like, you know, holding royalty. It feels like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, we had our own share of public spotlight.
Yeah.
Of course, camera phones weren't there and paparazzi wasn't there, but the kind of attention you got in school, or you know, when you went outside and people knew that you were, me and my sister were Rishi Kapoor's children. It felt good, you know. It felt good in a way that people looked at us in a nice way.
What are the things that still make you feel conscious?
My personal life,
Okay.
and now more so, because you know there is so much of spotlight on it. You know, there is so much of negativity, you know, which is coming with it. Especially now with those pictures came out, and you know who I'm in a relationship with, who I broke up with. There's a lot of theories. You know, my engagement on my birthday, or you know what my father has said, what my mother thinks. It's all becoming like stupid. You know, it's like I'm, you know, that show with the Kardashians.
Right.
I'm feeling like her right now.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, and that's bothering me, because
Like the star of a reality
yeah,
TV
because
show.
I'm okay. You know, I really want to have some mystery about myself.
Sure.
And now the stuff which is coming about me is not really true, and that's anyways breaking a mystery. So people are having a strong perception about me. I'm not crying out here because you know I get everything that I deserve.
Right.
But I just feel bad about that. I don't want to follow somebody else's success path. You know, if a Mr. Salman Khan has a Dabang, a Reddy and a Bodyguard, which are huge, humongous hits, they're humongous hits because of Salman Khan's mega stardom. You know, because people love him, that's why they like it. I can't do that because it doesn't come naturally from me, and I won't be able to pull it off convincingly. So I'm doing things what naturally come out of me. If I like a script which may not have a lot of mass appeal to it, but I've instinctively connected with the character, I think the director has a story to tell through it, he has something to say, I would do it, you know, with my eyes closed.
It doesn't mean that there will not be smaller films, no more Rocket Singhs for some time.
I think
There's
Barfi is
nothing like
relatively a smaller film. You know, keeping in mind the position that I've come into now in this industry, you know, people will give money, will fund my movies. So I have that power to make a film happen. But I'm not banking on just masala films or I mean, I'm playing a deaf and mute character in my next film, you know, which is not a very audience-friendly character. He's not a hero, you know, he doesn't speak dialogues, he doesn't sing songs. But I like the character, you know. It's a small film. It's a period 70s film, but it's a film which kind of touched me. It's a character which moved me, so I want to play it.